Everyone can read them? Everyone can read them, right? Yes or no? Can you read what is on the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
You can't.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yeah. And then the person has moved on and actually put in images related to their research, right? So based on their keywords, they've got pictures of like sadhus, which represent more of the culture stories. They've got pictures of the architecture we were talking about. So in terms of the imagery from the keywords, this looks good. As there's a lot of content, kind of images you see, lots of different images are put in over. And then in this part, which is define inspiration, right? You're doing your first lot of trend analysis. A lot of you guys have done this quite nicely, where we're actually talking about a larger trend. In some presentations I saw, people are getting very specific, talking about very specific things. But better way of doing this, you'll see that there's no one right way of doing this. You'll see through all the presentations that I'll show you guys that the way of presentation is changing, even though you all are working within a very restricted framework. So, example, the person has written jewel monotone colors, sculpted this metallic geometry. That means that that's a bigger trend, right? You're not just saying, you're not just focusing on one thing and saying, in particular, you'll see them coming forward. But so this is quite nice. So the representation of it makes sense. When you're talking about jewel monotone colors, I kind of understand that from the keywords because there was a reference to culture. There was a reference to some jewelry also up there, to art. When it comes to sculpted bodice, it again makes sense because there was a mention of architecture. Metallic geometry also makes sense because somewhere you're talking about a culture, about heritage. So there is a sense of like vintage. It's not from a shimmery point of view, but from a very like structural, cultural point of view. And then there's a drapes which kind of relate back to the sadhu pictures that I saw. So like that, if you look at the different trends this person has mentioned, it's quite interesting because they do relate back to something that we were looking at even in our keywords and inspiration images. Then there's one that's here, the dramatic florals, which also ties into the kind of flowers that you see during the pujas that there are pictures of up there. So this works also very nicely. Then there's another section of the designer research, again, which all of you all have done. And you've got your different mentions and looking at different designers, that's fine. And then the person has obviously narrowed it down to their specific keywords, right? So golden, ancient, heritage, holy, rich, wisdom. So what's happening is from the beginning, you're going bigger, you're looking for imagery, then you're going more focused, you're looking at your focused imagery, and then they put in more focused imagery. So even this works, narrowing it down to the sadhus, the flowers, the jewelry, the tradition, the temples. I can see all that happening, which is also great. The issue that starts to happen is now when the collection write-up comes in, right? So here the person has written that the Golden City is their collection name, which is fine, no problem. Banaras is their inspiration, which is also fine. Because I understand Banaras. I understand that it could be Banaras because Banaras has temples, it's cultural, it's got, the sadhus, it's got those elements in. But unfortunately, what happens is that in these images that you've shortlisted, you've got an image. See this image over here that I'm circling right now. That's not a Banaras-based architecture picture, right? The picture that I'm going to circle here, I mean, this one could be actually, but the one right beside it, this one, again, I'm not sure. So I have certain questions for the person and I would like the person to answer either here or they can send me a message later. Which temple? Okay, yeah. So I've put in some comments on the side, but I don't think you'll be able to see them when you go and check your presentation because of what Jasveen said. Right?
Hello.
Yeah.
Ma'am, can you hear me? I'm Naina.
Yes. Hi, Naina. It's your presentation, right?
Yes. Hi, ma'am.
Yes. Hi. Can you answer these questions for me, please?
Yes, ma'am. Regarding that Rangoli there, which you said is not, it is actually like a South Indian Rangoli with the image you can see.
Right.
So basically, I can replace that image. My whole idea was about, what do you call, like the floor art technically. So I was more focused on that. And the only thing I put up there was because it was aesthetically nice and it had the color which I was looking at. So other than that, I surely can get a better picture and I can change it.
Okay, but Naina, my question to you is this, that if you like that picture and if you feel like that the floor art is something that you like, if you like the aesthetics of the picture, you like the fact that, you know, what are you liking about it apart from colors? Are you liking the rawness of it? Are you liking the geometry of it? What are you liking?
Yes, I'm liking how it is showing the true Indian aesthetics, because the color, of course, and the geometrics and the way that lady is working on it. Even her attire, like she looks very simple, but the kind of artistic skills she has. So that is something which is inspiring, which is very inspirational.
So then do you feel like maybe then shortlisting and focusing on Banaras is not good enough, is a very limiting inspiration for you? Because if you know, you don't even have to shortlist on Banaras. You can say, okay, fine, I'm looking at all these different beautiful, you know, cultural
Right.
elements such as floor art and all of these more raw imagery of Indian culture, and you can look at more of those. So I feel like right now, based on where you've come from and where you've come to, the process is nice, but when you've come to your focused inspiration, you're getting stuck on Banaras. Why are you getting stuck on Banaras?
Yeah, so can I do one thing? So basically, when I say the golden city, what I can represent here is the whole country as a city. So if
Hmm.
I think that it's a golden city because it's rich of heritage and culture, and there are so many aspects of our heritage which can actually come forward.
Hmm.
So when I talk about jewelry, so what I did is, just to make it little more precise, I stuck around the puja, like the temple and the holy, like I was around that. So everything related or surrounding that, that purity, basically that sacred feeling. So the only reason I termed it Banaras was because I think I felt everything was there in Banaras, together. But I totally get your point, and I can just name it Golden City, but not get stuck with Banaras.
Okay, so what I would like you to do is take this feedback and don't go back to your entire thing. Up to this point is absolutely fine, but I want you to just relook at what is your see. Your inspiration can keep changing, it's not a problem. Okay, so even when I'm saying final inspiration, there's a possibility after doing color boarding, and this is applicable to everyone who's listening to me, your inspiration could change. So we are not going to say final inspiration till we don't actually finish this project. Okay, so I want you to relook at what your direction is from this point onwards. Okay, just relook at it, refunction it, and you don't have to be worried about focusing only on Banaras. You can, like you said, it can be the whole of India, focusing on different elements, and it could still be golden. You know, it could still
Yeah,
be, that doesn't change. It could still be very raw and very golden, because that still works with India and our culture as a country. Right? So I want you to just
right.
revisit this part of your project and see how you can change it around on this feedback. Okay,
Sure,
cool.
sure. Yeah.
So we'll move on
Thank
to
you
the
so
next
much,
one.
ma'am.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Next one now. The next person. Okay, I'm not supposed to say whose it is. If you feel like owning up, you can own up. No problem. There was this presentation. Actually, I'm not going to open it because it was labeled as interiors and the interior presentation. So I want this person to actually. I don't know how will you know though. This is. I'm going to say the person's name. Gunal. Gunal. I think she's with you only, Naina from Andheri. Yeah.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
she's here,
yeah.
please.
I don't know.
Can you let her know? Just let her know.
Yeah,
She
I'll
needs to
just.
correct her presentation. It's built on the interiors presentation. So I'm a bit confused. I was a bit confused about whether she was interior or fashion.
No, I think she is fashion, so she'll
Just
be
convey the message.
maybe by
Yeah.
mistake.
Just convey the message to her. Then
Yes.
I'll refresh the presentation later. Okay.
Sure,
Okay. Fine.
sure. Okay.
Okay. The next is, you know. So this presentation that's going to open right now, it's got a very interesting beginning of the keywords. So the keywords are these very floral images, and she's talking about color. She's talking about flowers. She's talking about um, summer. It's very light, it's very airy, and you'll see that when it opens. So look at this. So she's written, like, there are different ways that you guys can put your words. One was what we saw with Naina's presentation, and this is another way of showcasing it, and both are correct. Your words are there: cool, joyful, calm, fresh, patience, harmony. And then there's small phrases that she put in, which is also quite nice. Spring and sunshine on my mind. So you can play with a combination of words and phrases. That's good. Please be careful of how you put the images, because if you look at this slide, you'll see that the images are very stretched. So they're not very proportionate. So please be careful the way you place your images in the presentation. Also, this looks like it's a screenshot because I can see the magnifier on the picture. So let's also just be careful of how we are saving the pictures and how we are placing the pictures. Okay, but in terms of the pictures, that they relate a lot to the keywords that she's used, so that is correct. One of these pages is not opening, but it was just a continuation of that, so we won't worry. Then she went down for definition and inspiration. In trend analysis, there are lots of images of garments, which follow different kinds of trends, but there is no talk about what the trend actually is. What I see here right now in the first lineup is predominantly only the kind of imagery. So I would prefer it when you're writing about trend analysis. Can you also mention what trend you're looking at? That would be a good inclusion over here. In the second slide over here, again, you've got the designers' names, which is fine, but I feel like that understanding of what trend am I looking at needs to come across from you guys. So even if it's not a trend that is written like as per a notebook definition of the trend, your own definition of the trend is good enough for us. So for example, this top slide here where my cursor is right now would be like, maybe bridal florals. The one that's here over here is more like the center two would be more like gypsy chic, right? The side ones are more like Indian, comfort wear. But I would like you guys to understand what trend it is that you guys are referencing. Okay? In designer research, that's fine. You've written names of designers, seasons, that works really well. And we obviously know that the kind of positioning you're looking at is going to be slightly more Indian in aesthetic, which is fine, no problem. Then you've come to your second keywords, which is basically you focus on the Mughal era. Now, for me, this is very confusing. And it's confusing why? Because I feel like you're jumping. You're jumping from summer florals. Your initial talk of keywords and inspiration sounded so light, so airy. It sounded so like colorful. And suddenly now we've come into Mughal era, which is fine. It could be. But then you're talking about marvelous, gigantic, creative, bravery, luxury, a white piece. So for me, somewhere I feel like that connect between your first round and second round has kind of gotten lost along the way. There are different ways that we can make it connect. It's not like it's not possible. Anything can connect to anything. I totally believe that. But I would like the person to, if they are comfortable, explaining their viewpoint on doing this, because that will help me give you better feedback. Does the person want to talk about it? No?
Guys, you can always talk, because if you talk, you'll be able to get a clearer understanding. I just said don't name it, so that we just in case somebody doesn't want to own up.
Yeah.
But
so someone wants to talk about, because it'll help me understand how you jumped.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. From the floral, I went to the direct Mughal era. Because I choose in Mughal era, I choose Taj Mahal. Taj Mahal में जैसे कि carving and that all goes with the floral thing. I think so. I went there.
Okay, so it was basically you connected the flowers and that's how you took it forward, right?
Yes.
That was a simple connect.
Yes.
Okay, fine. The thing is that the only thing I see right now is that even your trend analysis, whatever designer research, all of those things that you did were very free flowing. With the Taj Mahal, somewhere along the way, if you're looking at the Taj Mahal as an inspiration, it's marble, it's white, structure. It becomes a bit stiff. It's not as free flowing. So maybe what we can do is for your project, you can probably try and look for more. Like, even if you look at the images you put under, let's look at those. You've put in images of the people of that era, which is fine. That's okay, that can work. But then also put lots of the jewelry images.
Yes, colors, ma'am. Colors and
colors,
all
yeah.
that. Yes,
Yeah.
colors, ma'am.
Yeah, the colors and all that comes through really well. But the thing is, it's just that it suddenly becomes a very hard inspiration. I'm not sure if you're understanding that, but it's becoming very hard. But on the other side, like, you put this, you see the center image over here, this painting that you've put. Can you see the
there is a
painting
network, ma'am. Excuse me, ma'am. There is a network problem. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. So if you look at this image that I'm circling, you see this painting on page enter.
No, ma'am. Again, I
this
am not
painting.
hearing you.
Okay.
I am not hearing you, ma'am.
Okay. So I'll do one thing. I'll send you. Okay. Is everyone having a problem hearing me?
Yes, ma'am. Very much, ma'am. Problem.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. There is a problem.
Yes, ma'am. There is a problem.
Yes, ma'am.
Your voice is shaking a little. That's it. Sometimes when you speak it.
Is it better now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So basically, if you look at the center, this one that I'm circling, you can see a painting.
Painting.
This one, the one of the woman sitting.
Yes.
So if you painting, what you start to see is that painting is a better reference for you to look at based on your florals, because you see in the kind of clothes she's wearing are very sheer. You can see like different layers in them. There's so much color behind her.
No, ma'am.
The flowers seem
No. Her background, ma'am. Her background had some flowers.
Yes. So I think we're looking for references. As you start to zero, maybe you can look at its whole genre of paintings that during the time of the movie.
So, ma'am, so here.
Karishma, your voice is shaking.
Yes.
There's some disturbance, I think.
I don't know how to rectify that one second. Because this is how we spoke to you guys last time. Is it better now? I put it next to you.
No, ma'am. No, can't hear.
Okay, I'll come back. I'll reconnect. Let me just disconnect and come back. Can you hear me now without the screen sharing? Better?
No. It's the same, Karishma.
I think, Karishma, it's the network that's the issue. Your network is not stable. So it is connecting and disconnecting. The problem is with your internet, nothing else.
But then how do I rectify that?
Now it's okay.
Yeah?
Yeah. Now
somebody else is using it, just tell them to stop. That's the only way out, If there are too many people on the network, then it might be an issue. Seems to be okay now. I think let's carry on.
Yeah, let's try.
And sometimes I think the wind outside also.
It's basically the internet.
Okay, so listen, what you do with this one in particular is try looking more of the inspiration on the paintings rather than trying to look at the jewelry and everything else. I feel like you can find a lot more content which will then.
Ma'am, we can't hear you.
Can't hear you, ma'am.
Karishma, go inside that room. You're gone last time. So maybe your voice will be clear.
I do all my calls from here, from this particular point. I'm going to try to. Just give me a moment, I'll take it inside.
Also, this is the master plan file.
Is it better now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Basically,
ma'am.
I'm going to go back
Yes,
to that
ma'am.
same painting that we're talking about right now. I would like you for your presentation to get more of that, those kind of illustrations and paintings. I feel like you'll get more content out of those, which still talk about what you're talking about. The florals from the Mughal era, the people, the kind of way that they dressed, all those different elements that you want, but it'll be a slightly more softer inspiration. Okay, please think about that feedback and see how you can apply that. Okay, I'm going to move on to the next one. My gosh, it's so much faster over here. Better for me. Thank you. Okay, so the next presentation that we are looking at is this one. Now, in this place, the person has not put in any keywords. Okay, they put an image, but somehow that image makes sense to me. Like when I see the image, I start to think of my own keywords. It would definitely be helpful if you did put in keywords alongside the image. So you can do a combination of images and keywords, not a problem. Okay, so the thing is that what happens if you don't put keywords, I start making up my own keywords. And that sometimes may not be good for you because the way you're processing it will be different from the way I process it. Okay. But when I look at these images, I think immediately childlike illustrations, very colorful, hand-drawn, raw. I start to think of like different kinds of shapes, right? Lots of color, obviously, that we can see. It's a bit childish, I'll say again, because of the kind of the images also put over here, like it's these monster faces. Childish is not a bad thing, okay? Let's say childlike. Childlike's a better word to use. And then here you put in a trend analysis of, again here, the person has not mentioned the kind of trend they're looking at. They've only mentioned the designer's name. So I'd like you to put in the name of the trend that you understand. Like for example, this is like color pop. This one could be like, different kinds of geometric patterns. I'd like you to mention trend that you're actually looking at. In your designer research also, it kind of makes sense because I can see lots of color happening. I can see frills and flounces, which somehow relate back to it being kind of childlike. Then over here also, I see lots of colors happening, right? Lots of mixes of colors. And now I finally find the keywords. In your keywords, when I read them, happiness, joyful, random, cute, love, emotions, imagination, fun, abstract, strength, dream, cool, peace, random, they make sense to me, but I feel like you're still missing a few keywords that could be very beneficial to you. Like maybe hand drawn is a very big keyword that we see everywhere. None of the images that you showed us were actually very geometric or very had too many repeat patterns. A lot of it was very raw and rough. So I feel like that could be a good keyword for you. And also there are some of the pictures that you put which could have been more like, move towards more different kinds of art, maybe surrealism or different kinds of art forms that there are. Moving forward, you've got the same images that have been repeated over here. I feel like what's lacking over here is that I understand the vibe of your collection and I understand the colors that could possibly be. I understand the SOT you could possibly have. But somewhere after reading your keywords, I feel like how are you going to get your silhouettes? Where are your silhouettes going to come from? Okay, if that makes sense to the person who did this one. Lots of references for your SOT, lots of references for your colors, but I'm not sure where your silhouettes are going to come from. Now also, when you moved on in your inspiration, you have also moved into something like this, which is great. It's quite a nice way. It's a nice place to move into, like this artwork especially, like lots of different shapes coming together, primary, secondary, tertiary colors coming together. You also put in a small slide of of this, which means it's potentially hand painted eventually, but the stuff that is being hand painted is very repeat motif. Are you understanding what I'm saying? So every single image that we're putting into our sheets need to give us some information. That's very important. And if it's not giving you the information that's going to give you direction to your presentation or your project, it's not needed over here. So if the person who actually made this presentation has any particular question to ask me, they can ask me now, or I'm going to move on. But mainly I need them to give a better explanation. The keywords need to be, more keywords need to be in place. And I feel like their inspiration is interesting, but I feel like somewhere it's not been pushed to where it can be pushed to. I think there should be more references of different kind of artists who, probably work in this abstract, surreal form. And then what we can do is we can actually look at a lot of our silhouette references also from those artists. But right now, I don't feel like it's there yet. Okay? Are you listening? Whoever's making it, I hope you're listening to me. Okay, I'm assuming you are. And
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to move on then. The thing is, when you also look at other people's work, don't think that, oh, other people's work is going on, I don't need to look at it. The point is that you are going to see what everyone's doing, and you'll also figure out, maybe you'll realize in your own head that I'm making the same mistake. So please treat everyone's presentation feedback as something that's going to benefit you. And I'm also showing you guys specific presentations where I feel there's something that we can see and understand from. There's a presentation which I thought was very interesting, and it was nicely done. I'm opening that for you all right now. Okay, so you see this is the keyword page. It's very nicely done, right? You know that there's a key element of sustainability in the center. And then you know that there are all these lines coming out like a mind map where you can see these different words that give rise to different words. And the person has also circled and highlighted the words that they are taking even more forward. So like in yellow, there's a small highlight. So for me as a viewer, my eyes immediately know where to look at, right? So they don't get lost in a whole sea of words. They give me clarity on where I need to look. So this is quite an effective way. Sorry. So this is quite an effective way of actually showcasing your keywords, right? Then I see lots of different images over here where you've got, from those keywords, images are here, some colors, like different ideas. So when you're talking about reuse, recycling, like images that reflect from that, lots of references which work. But I feel like sustainability is a very intangible keyword, right? Sustainability is a value. It's an idea. You can't base an entire collection on sustainability alone, right? You need to find another inspiration that could merge with this, which could then help us understand what kind of silhouettes and shapes we're going to make. So you've also done some trend analysis, which is quite, sorry? Okay. You've also done some trend analysis, which is quite interesting. There are lots of different, trends that actually work in this, floral traces, repair, reuse. So for other people, the presentations we saw before this, they didn't have very focused names for trends, but this one is slightly more focused, which is a good thing. And there's also references of different designers who worked in this space, but I'm still not sure on how you're thinking of taking this forward into silhouette, form, surfaces also. I know it's sustainability, I know it's upcycling.
I
hope that makes sense to whoever's made this presentation.
Yes, can I speak to you? Hi. Actually, sustainability was where I started. But then if you see, I have circled certain words where I wanted my collection to move forward to. Like, for example, there's organic way of printing, handmade and all of that. So there was eco printing. So that is where I want to go.
That's fine.
And then I mean, in terms of silhouette, I'm sorry if I wasn't very thorough from the pictures, but it's going to be very breathable and loose, and they don't hinder your movement, something like that.
So I want you to make this more well-rounded. I would recommend very strongly is that you've circled certain words, but eco-printing is a technique. What are you going to eco-print? What shape are you going to eco-print?
Actually, I'm so sorry. You know, I don't have the, you know, I've completed the entire project.
Yeah.
I did not get the memo right. I think
No. You got the memo absolutely right. The memo was not wrong. The thing is that when I ask you this question, it's not because you see, I have another presentation who's given me the entire thing. I'll talk to you about that later. But the thing is, when you reach to this point, there should have been enough content up to here to translate to go further. So whether you've done the whole project or not is besides the point. My question to you is at this point where we're supposed to understand what your collection is going to be built on, I feel like it's kind of it's gone short somewhere, because clearly you know what you're talking about. It's not like you don't know what you're talking about, but I just feel like there isn't enough, like everyone's done it up to this point, just up to this point. So up to this point, what I'm expecting out of you is that I have an understanding of your direction. It's not your exact silhouette. So don't worry about that. I don't need your full presentation, but I need to know that if you're talking about your collection, my collection is going to be inspired by this thing. What is the collection actually inspired by? There's no inspiration note also here. Collection
yes,
note.
that is what I'm saying. I mean, I did not send it. I sent it to you till designer research. So if I would have sent you the, you know, my concept note and the inspiration and my keywords, you would get a clearer idea. And I'm so sorry.
If you can send that to the team right away. So when I'm looking at the presentations again, I'll relook at yours and I'll give you feedback based on that. Okay?
Okay, thank you so much. I'll do it right now.
Yeah,
yes.
Cool. Okay, thank you.
No
So next presentation.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And moreover, what I feel, Karishma, that when we are actually looking onto the inspiration, we actually know what we are going to be making.
Yeah.
No,
you see that. I'm going to talk about that right now, because there's a presentation who's done exactly that, and and she, I think her friend. So they've all done the whole presentation, and you can actually tell that the designs, the content is really good. Yeah, the content is really good of all of these people. But the thing is that they've already decided in their head that my end result is going to look like this. And that's the problem. When we're doing design process, we need to be so open in our head that we start off from a point and let the design process take you to the end result.
Yeah,
that is really important.
Yeah, this is this whole sequence of us letting you know about the processes, so that हमारे को मालूम होता है, but we are trying to let you know how to communicate to the students at every step, right? So this is not personal to anybody or something, but it's just that how step by step we need to, and what we need to erase from our mind, basically.
Yeah. So so this one, in fact, is really quite interesting, right? There is this entire keyword board. There are some keywords on it, lots of images. You can understand what it is in a minute. Great, right? Then you have all of this interesting imagery here, which is talking about strength. It's talking about there's yoga, mind, spirit, body. So you know that it's coming from a place of self-help, self-healing, internal strength. So all that still works really well, right? Need these to open up faster. So again, it continues, more images of your research. You know, there's this very interesting picture that I'm circling right now of a skull. It's obviously an illustration, flowers coming out from inside. So you're talking about, you know, maybe self-healing, you're talking about growth. So in terms of imagery, I think this is really good. It's a really good example for everyone to see, where the imagery doesn't have to be so literal, but it talks about the mood, it talks about the effect, it talks about your, you know, just the whole vibe of what you're trying to build, right? Then I have my inspiration over here, and I'm looking at trend analysis, and this is a really good way it's been placed again. You know, trend 1, bralette, trend 2 is panel tracks. So when I'm saying that don't be specific to a certain kind of garment, I think that the layout is good, but again, there's so much specific focus, because the person eventually has designed this. They have made a bralette, they have made panel tracks, They have made the dress and they've made a jacket. And this is exactly where all of us are faltering. And this happens to the best of us. It happens to everybody. And this is what we have to correct even with the students. So if we can understand that the design process is for a reason, it's to take you from point A to Z in a systematic manner, where when you reach point Z, it's going to look different because you've done your research, you've done your homework, and that's why it's going to look different. Not because you're this great designer and that's why. I mean, I think that it's also the way designers take an inspiration and how they reinterpret inspirations. And that's a huge part of how good a designer is, right? So layout and everything is fine, but again, I feel like it's really focused on the kind of product we're looking at. It would have been better if in trend analysis, we wrote athleisure. Athleisure was enough to give us, because that's a huge trend. And that's really where this collection could be going, and it makes sense for it to go there. So understand this, guys, what she's put is not wrong. What is put is not wrong. But I don't want you all to get so stuck at this point on specific products. Look at the bigger trends on which you guys can focus and your work fits into that. Okay. So you look at this. This trend makes more sense, where she's gotten layers and reflection, right? So when she's written layers, it's a very interesting trend, right? Because her inspiration comes from inside, outside, mind, body, soul. So layers is an inspiration and trend analysis makes sense. Then there's futuristic reflections on this side, which again makes sense because you're talking about, self, you're talking about the future, you're talking about reflection, internal, outside. And she's given it that futuristic element, which also kind of connects to all the imagery that she has, because her imagery is not, see, if you think about it, when you're talking about self-help and healing, some people go towards the yogi mystic side of it, right? And some people go towards the new age, comfort, yoga, lifestyle of it. And they both are completely right. So please understand that when you're working with very intangible inspirations, you could move in either direction and it's not wrong. Okay. So this interpretation of trend analysis is better than what you did earlier about this. Minimals, again, it's a good trend, makes sense with what she's doing. Florals also make sense. You see a lot of florals in the pictures she's put above. Then in designer research also, she's got, Matthew Williamson, people who are doing that stuff in the space that she's talking about, right? So that also makes sense to me. Then you come into your more final keywords. Bloom, body is a temple, explore, shine. It's good, looks good. This is a great board. Such a nice inspiration, right? But you know that you've been led to this board, right? Because you went through phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. That's where you've come to this board, right? And you've got this going on. It's a really nice artist. Then even this is a nice board where she's put small quotes in it. Sweat is pretty. It starts to make you understand where her collection's headed towards. And then there's this very nice one also of lots of colors. It takes you back to trend analysis, the rainbow. All that is fine. And then you've written about what this is and how it's inspired from health and happiness. And during pandemic, people live, in a lot of agony. So the write-up also still makes sense. And then suddenly when you come to design development, right, you've put your color story in, which is also still fine. It still works, no problem, right? You still could go into this very colorful, rainbow, metallic kind of inspiration. But the problem is that your garments do not reflect all that beauty that you had of the skulls, the flowers. It doesn't mean that, of course, it's athleisure, you can't do embroidery. I understand that 100%. But I just feel that you need more content.
Ma'am, can I interrupt, please?
Yes, please do.
Yes, ma'am, actually, we started reworking on this assignment after we got your inputs in the last meeting, that we have to work till phase 1. And we have started a different angle of working through this assignment. This is the first thing which I submitted, and I realized that I should have worked phase-wise and all. So I have another assignment actually, that is the actual assignment which you needed to go through.
Well, I didn't get to see it, so I judged you based on this.
Yeah. It's okay, ma'am.
It's okay, don't worry about it, but you must, I must tell you that you've got it going for you. You've got the content. The content is very interesting. I don't need a separate assignment. I want to take it forward.
I think I quite like this work, and it's very good.
It's interesting. It's just that I feel like, and I'm going to show this to everyone because I know you guys do this all the time. All of us do this all the time. So I don't want you all to jump. Please don't jump, because I know that when you work with this inspiration, with more detail and thought into it, you'll give me much more kick-ass garments than what you've given us right now.
And that's what the students actually do. They have the garment in their mind and then they go backwards with inspiration and they're plotted, and that's what's reflecting in all the teachers' sketches to me at the minute.
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what you do with the garments though, and I want you to do it in a step-by-step manner, because I think that the content is there to do that. Okay, Jagriti? Okay, no problem. Yeah. Okay, cool. Thanks. Okay, so there's also this other one of center. I'm just going to show you guys this one quickly. And also, please, if you all are sending in your work, please send in your work to tell us it's not coming, because then we end up spending our time on these projects, right? And then if you turn and tell me I didn't send you the whole thing, or I did not, it's just that it's hard for me. It means I have to relook at it all again. And this is for everyone on these screens. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so then this project also very interesting. I thought there was a lot of like scope in this one. Only thing I would say is please put images properly. If you feel like it's not going to fit here, don't squeeze it. I know that's a mind map, but I can't read it. So use the entire page for the mind map and duplicate one more mind map page and write the words again. I have no problem. Give me 5 mind map pages. I don't have a problem, but don't do this, okay? So I read all your words. You're talking about wavy, zigzag, fluid, freedom, movement and stillness, continuity, lines, grace. Lots of these big words which are interesting, but I'm still not sure where it's going to go. And then I start to see your inspiration images that you've put, and I start to see it. It starts to make a lot more sense to me. So that's a really nice connect that you've used. You can see the lines in this picture of this dancer. You can see the lines in the folds. I can see the line in this artwork. I start to see lines in all these places that you're looking at. I see these lines that are broken, in different directions. I see Van Gogh and I see lines there also. So I think that's really nicely put together. And all the images have that kind of quality of freedom, movement, lines, movement and stillness. And you've got your entire trend analysis here, which also kind of makes sense as imperfection, which works, boho, which also works somewhere, different kinds of dresses, pressed flowers work, technology works well for your keywords you built up, earthy, serenity, nomad, and then different designer research. And in this research, I can see a lot of like stuff which is not very fitted. It's quite comfortable. And then suddenly you move to Iris Van Herpen, which is very structured and very big, which is fine, no problem. So guys, you don't have to choose only one kind of aesthetic. You can choose different kinds. You can have a range of different designers here, because we're not asking you to copy these designers. We're saying, see everything out there that you think fits in within the trend that you're working with, and then make something 100 times better than that. Okay, so you can absolutely have your designer research like this with different kinds of designers doing different things, as long as they tie into your thought process. Okay, and then you've got your research coming in, your keywords coming in, and I start to see more of a focus in this, because now we're going towards, earlier when you're talking about lines and movements, etc. Now the person is actually mentioning dancers. Okay, so there is an element of dancers coming in. So you started to relate the lines, movement, kinetic energy with dancers, fluidity, nudes and pastels. So there is a certain kind of focus coming in now. And then these images are lovely of the different dancers and, different things happening over here. So it ties in really well. So this is a really good example. I think everyone should have a look at this one. And also here I can see a lot of like fluidity. It's not the dancer's picture. It's a jellyfish, right? But there's still fluidity. There's colors happening. There's translucency. There's lines. So don't keep thinking that your imagery that you're bringing in needs to be only about a particular thing. You need to start to relate imagery with your point of view. You need to start relating imagery with your inspiration. And it's about how you see it, right? So for me, I may not have thought of jellyfish, but he's put the jellyfish in there, and looking at his entire step-by-step thing, coming to the jellyfish, it makes sense to me. Yeah? Yeah, that's about it. There's also a nice description. Siddharth, do you want to just talk about your note quickly? Tell us what your note says.
See, basically, I've always been inspired by movement of all these dancers that I've mentioned, like Martha Graham, Isadora Duncan, Tina Bosch, and all of them, because they always wanted to break away from the rigidities of classical dance forms. So that is what I want to show in my collection, breaking away from rigidities to be more fluid, to be more expressive, to be able to move freely. So that is basically what I wanted to talk about. So I think my collection would appeal to a mass which is more artistically inclined, and it could be art of any form. It could be journalists, they could be writers, they could be dancers, they could be theatre people, but people who are always on the go and always active, who do not want to wear restricted garments which restrict their movement, and also make them feel very free soulfully.
But I don't want you to only have the garment in your brain, okay? I really want you to design.
No, I haven't thought about that. I haven't thought about that. In fact, I'm still...
Guys, let me tell you all one thing. This part of the project is actually the easiest part of the project. You know, finding an inspiration, writing keywords. When I say easy, it's not easy. Of course, it's not easy. But as we progress into the project, it becomes harder and harder. Because now your next level is going to be about choosing those right colors. See, there's no right color. When I say right colors, there's no like preset. Is my voice echoing?
No, it's fine.
So there's no preset color for everyone. This is right. You're going to have to choose your own colors eventually. But then choosing what works is going to be the key. Deciding what doesn't work is also going to be the key. So from now onwards, you guys have to keep editing every step of the way and decide what is important and what is not important. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah. Also, I wanted to ask one thing. Can I do that?
Sorry?
I wanted to ask one thing.
Ask, yeah, of course.
Yeah, the name that I've given, I wanted to be sure if it's fine, because so basically the name in between, which means assemblée. Assemblée is this kind of a movement in ballet, and then I kept EN in the beginning because I wanted to connect ensemble and ensemble, so movement and dance. And then Ito is movement in Japanese because I wanted to have some Japanese influence in my clothes. So either Japanese way of pattern making or, zero wastage, minimal wastage or something like that. I haven't thought about it clearly, but I want to incorporate something Japanese in mine, or shibori maybe.
Then I want you to also bring that element in to your inspiration imagery. So if you step back, if you know you want to bring that in, bring in some more images of the shibori, the line, the ones, when you're saying shibori also that makes sense because you get a lot of shibori that's just when you fold it up, when you really crunch it up and then you put color into it, you get very interesting lines and patterns in it. You can totally bring that in. So that should be now your development after this. Okay. When it comes to the name of your collection, guys, keep it whatever you guys want to. It's a proper noun. As long as it makes sense to what you're talking about, it doesn't matter. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, so don't worry about that. Cool.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Now we'll do the next one. How much time do we have, Jasleen? Just for my understanding.
Yeah, you have unlimited time. You can carry on. It's up to you how far you want to take it.
No pressure. Guys, you're all right with it? Can we go on?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Please also understand we won't do everyone's presentations like this because it's going to be a task, but we'll do as many as we can do, okay?
Karishma, pick the ones you feel would make the other people feel interesting, good, bad.
Yeah, I picked out the ones that I feel like maybe somewhere there's something to learn from them.
Okay.
Also for people who've done group assignments, and I know there are quite a few who've done the group assignments, I want you all to know that from this point on, there is no group assignment. So if you've done it together, no problem, start it together. You've got your first part together. Now all work beyond that has to be individual. And I also have a point I want to raise is if everyone in the beginning of the presentation, if you can write your name and write your specialization next to it, what that does is it helps me understand what you're actually teaching there. So also I know on what things we need to put more, more focus on, because I don't want to be harassing a pattern cutting teacher about, something that they're not specialized in. Okay, so I really want you guys to also, along with your name, write in brackets what you're teaching at INIFD at the moment. Okay, yeah, cool. Okay, so with this collection, actually, I feel like we need to make a few changes. You know, your process is there. You've written your words and your phrases. You've got fashion, heritage, handmade, love, pattern, vibrant India, gold, global, merge, recycle, Indian, make in India. Right now, it's very big, but I can still give you the benefit of doubt because I know in your first round of keywords, it is always a little bit scattered, right? There are lots of different kinds of keywords. But the thing is that I feel like there are many different keywords that will eventually confuse you because you've also written shimmer, you've also written sustainability, you've written recycle, you've written heritage, and you've written, so it's lots of different like concepts which probably are not actually leading to any direction, so to say. It's just like different words that are interesting, but we need to find a link in it. Okay, now your images that you've put in over here. Sorry. So the images that you've put over here are upcycled images. So I assume that that's what you were already looking at and taking forward, recycling, upcycling, you know, stuff like that. But one second, but let it open first. So I basically need a faster internet in my house to do all, because we have calls every single day. We need to figure something out. I think the whole world is using the internet right now, and that's the big problem. Okay, so what's happening in this one is that the keywords are not matching up to, are not coming to any kind of conclusion. And then after that, when I come into trend analysis, you see that my images here, which were basically upcycled clothing, right, have now come here into trend analysis, and here I'm talking about shimmer. Do you understand what I'm talking about here? And then I'm moving forward, I'm talking about tropical chaos, twisted geometry, and pattern contrast. Very interesting trends by themselves. The trends are not the problem. The problem here is that there is no link in different parts. So it almost feels like a different person has done, which could be the case because I know there are three of you all. A different person has done this part, a different person has done this part, and a different person has done this part. So when you're approaching this project, I want you to approach it as I'm going from point A to point Z. I'm not doing point A and then point D and then coming back. So with this project, unfortunately, that's what's happened. If you look at now the designer research, it's very big and very like, you know, so this designer research is matching with your trend analysis. That has happened. That is correct. Okay. But if I come back to now my second level of keywords, I'm talking about pattern blocking, patch, seam, running stitch, basting, checks, plates, diamonds, parallel. Everything that all the keywords here are only referring to surface techniques or surface patterns. It's not referring to anything beyond surface pattern. So then I worry that what is your inspiration going to be? Like, how are you going to take this forward, right? And now suddenly my image's inspiration here is Jalis. And then after that, I have this patchwork and so I can see that you're inclined towards geometry for sure. I know I can see the geometry inclination for sure. And then we've got Godris, right? So there's patchwork also. I've understood that. And then the write-up talks about how you're looking at Godris as an inspiration. So you'll see how we're going from point A, and then we've done so many different stages, but none of the stages are actually taking us to the next stage.
No connectivity, actually.
There's no connection. And that for me is an issue that we need to rework. You have a lot of content inside this, but the content is not connected. The content is not actually linked in any way, and it's not building up to anything. So I want you guys to please relook at this project, and you all are 3 people. I want you all to do this individually. I don't mind if you all take the same thing, rectify.
Yeah, they can take the pieces and they can take their bit.
Yeah, each person, because I think that each person has given their bit to this, which is why it's got so much diversity also. So take the bits that interest you and please build this project properly. Also, while I'm opening the presentations, if you guys have questions, you can ask me then, okay? Because if you're anyways waiting for presentation to open, then questions can be taken at that point. And it doesn't have to be your project for me to answer. You can ask me a question that you are thinking of also, no problem. Okay, now this project, it talks about, obviously a place, and it has these different elements that have been put into the keywords. For me, this is too soon. I don't know if you guys can see it very well. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Yeah, if you guys can read this very well, you've got a place. The place has been broken down. Places, art and craft, colors, fabric embellishment, okay, prints, patterns, fabric manipulation, styles, and silhouette, right? So it's all broken down really nicely, but it's broken down in a way that talks about my garment already, right? It doesn't talk about the place. In fact, it should have been, if you're talking about a city like Madras, Patnam to Chennai, that whole transition, it should have been about the place only. You'll have already in your first presentation told me your colors, you'll are thinking of your fabric embellishment possibilities, prints and pattern possibilities. So for me, this is starting already with too much information, which is not going to help you guys move forward. So this for me is too soon. Then you've got your imagery, which is fine. You've got Nataraj here, you've got the temple, you've got different things which relate back to dance, because I know dance is a huge part of the city, of the whole state in general. So you've got these different elements happening, which is fine. You've got different kind of crafts of the area. You've got ikat, you've got your kalamkari, block print, different kinds of crafts. And but this I didn't understand. After this, I didn't understand this board, because on this board, it's just a bunch of images of different designers which have some sort of geometry on them over here. And then towards the bottom, they just are, I'm not sure. So I feel like this third page somewhere loses the link from the first and the second page. Okay.
Hi, ma'am.
Yes.
Can I tell? Hi, I'm
Yes,
Suparna.
Yes,
So basically, we have actually chosen Madrasapatnam to Chennai. So we want to take the cultural aspect from the historical era, how Madrasapatnam was there, and what and all cultural way they still have those. So we were not sure on what area to concentrate on. So we have pottery in it. Now, in the end, the third page, which you were talking about right now, we have actually taken those weaving patterns that they had on their hut, which can be converted into a fabric manipulation. So we have taken those few references. Then we had a lot of things in our mind. We had upcycle. We had many things. It was like we were just thinking on the interesting fact that we can keep in our this particular inspiration. That's all, ma'am.
Okay, so the thing is that in none of the pictures above is there any mention of the hut. So if you have suddenly moved from this kind of imagery and this kind of imagery to this imagery, how are we supposed to understand that, right? So maybe you need to add in those images of the huts you're talking about. So weaving patterns from the huts absolutely makes sense, no problem. But because we can't see that imagery here, we are unaware as a viewer as how you've jumped. And as designers, again, we make this mistake all the time. We assume it's in our head. So the person who's viewing it also will understand it the same way. Correct? So we have to understand that we have to be so clear in presenting it that these questions don't come up. Okay?
Yeah.
So that's fine. You had a lot of ideas in it, no problem. You wanted to try different things, no problem. I wish there were more pictures in that direction, and then moving forward to maybe this slide, so we would actually understand that link better. Make sense?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. So then moving on into your sorry?
Yeah, no, I was saying that we'll do the corrections. I got your point.
Yeah. So I'm just going to move forward in your presentation itself. So you're saying that in your trend analysis, there's deconstructed look, tiered look, upcycle look, statement sleeves. Now, somewhere I feel like that, I can't feel that flow from top to here, that everything kind of connects. For me right now, the only thing that really connects from your earlier imagery to this one, from your keywords to your imagery to this one, is the tiered look because of the whole temple architecture. And even the statement sleeves possibly because of the temple architecture. Upcycle look, I don't know why you're going for that, because it doesn't connect to anything, so to say, above in your inspiration. And also deconstructed look, I'm not sure unless you say Bharatnatyam, or you say a dance form and the way they actually put their saris. But then again, maybe there should be more pictures of dances in your work, and then so that's just because my brain is trying to find a connection. Okay.
Actually,
and,
I understood that there is no connectivity. Actually, we had temple decor also in it, where the drapes. So there is a finished, unfinished version of a look that is coming in the decor. So whenever they look at the temple, they have bright colors in Chennai, and also they have a lot of oversize. So we wanted to take that Gopuram structure as A-line or boxy. We were very fascinated how it might look in a non-traditional way. So we have not figured out how it's gonna be. So we thought it will be interesting. That's how we thought of these trends.
Okay, fine. Then we're moving on to your other trends. You've got trend 8, you've written kalamkari. So actually kalamkari is not the trend. The trend actually becomes craft. Craft is the trend, or handmade is the trend. Okay, kalamkari is not the trend. So you need to rectify that. And also your blurred patterns, that's fine. But again, how is the blurred flower? Why is the blurred flower pattern there? So I just feel like layering also works for me. Big bows also work for me. But there are certain trends you guys have chosen that I cannot see the link in from the beginning to now. You can edit those out, which you've understood. So please do those. In your designer research, I see a lot of large, like over the top, large sizes.
Oversized, yes.
Oversized kind of pieces, statement pieces, which again, with the temples and what you're saying to me, it makes sense, right? And then we come to your final bit of keywords, right? And so you've written lifestyle of Chennai, intricate details of temple, kalamkari with a twist, checkered patterns, blurred floral design, sustainable fabrics. Now, I'm going to ask you all of this one by one. In lifestyle of Chennai, when you're saying lifestyle of Chennai, what do you mean? And now at this point, when you've already shortlisted, when you said lifestyle of Chennai, the first time it was fine, because you were still making it big and trying to understand what you want to do. But as you're narrowing the whole thing down, this needs to be more specific.
So actually, the thing we thought of was taking kalamkari method, but converting lifestyle of Chennai. Means any day portrait in a caricature form, but it will be drawn in kalamkari. So we had Bharatnatyam caricatures, which can be, I thought we can use eco-friendly dyes, and you can use those kalamkari techniques, and we can blend those. Like
okay, but then why with that? You've also written kalamkari with a twist, so that's already there. So why are you writing lifestyle? But then why are you writing lifestyle of Chennai? Is that needed?
If you just go through that inspiration pic, you will see. Can just take that one.
No, but wait, there's one more thing that happens. I'm going to ask you a few more questions and you can take us there. You also spoke about the temple's shape, right? But here in your keywords, you've written intricate details. So what you're writing and what you're saying are somewhere not connecting. It's the same Gopuram. The temple is correct. But you said we looked at the sleeves for the shape. And now you're saying that we're looking at the intricate details. So either there's a miscommunication in the way it's being written, which is why it's confusing us as the viewers. So you need to rectify that. So I know in your images, you've got these things, you've got the lifestyle, you've got those things. But when you come to this key phrases now, I want you all to start to really focus. So narrow it down and only have things that are required to be here. The recycle, upcycle, it could be a key phrase, but I still don't know where you got it from. It's almost like, everyone needs to recycle, upcycle, so we will recycle, upcycle. You want to do it for the sake of doing it, that's okay. But there is no, like in your inspiration, that's not the most obvious translation. Then the other thing is eco-friendly dye, that's okay. It comes from kalamkari, it's not a problem. When you're talking about blurred flower designs, I still don't know where blurred flower designs have come from. So even if I scroll down to your images, okay, you've got more images down here. Let's look at those.
Yeah.
Because now that's how it runs.
So V3, actually, we were searching on this lifestyle of Chennai. Basically, the day.
See? Continue.
Yeah. So can you see on the right side, ma'am, the caricature form on how a common life. Yeah. So that, in a way, we can transfer it to a kalamkari, which will be a twist.
Okay, that's fine.
So that
Bharatnatyam,
Bharatnatyam, like those
that's
kind
what
of
I'm asking you. Right now, that means you're deciding what your final garment's going to look like. That's not what I'm asking you right now. I'm asking you that when you say, I want to take Gopuram ka temple ka the shape, and I want to make really big dresses. I want to have, these larger than life shapes on it. That is not mentioned anywhere in your key phrases. Okay, in your key phrases, only deconstructed drapes is mentioned. The silhouette, I'm not even saying silhouette. I mean to say just the structure is not mentioned anywhere. Structure also should be mentioned somewhere, because you're looking at an inspiration that has a certain amount of structure. So I needed to step back a little bit, relook at it from point one, and go back to it phase by phase and edit it better. The editing needs to be better. The communication needs to be better. Okay, the content is not a problem. Chennai has got so much culture. There's so much you can find from it. So what you're looking at is not the problem. The way you're communicating it is a problem. Okay, so please review that for me. Now we move forward. We see more fabrics from that region, and I see this blurred. Why these blurred flowers? There's so much. Why are you all in love with this pattern? What's going on? I mean, if you think about it, if you put in some more images of kalamkari and show us how kalamkari has a lot of flowers in it. And I want to use
about Chennai, and when you're talking about mandir and all that, so this doesn't come too appropriate also, I think. That.
No,
so
actually...
Say finish.
No, actually, see, this was an image we really liked. We thought, again, kalamkari, if a proper kalamkari is there, then if we can convert it to a, how ikat is there. So if we design it digitally, then if we can get a mix of ikat and this, again, we were not still comfort on how, finally we are going to do that.
Somehow some connection was not there, like there's something inappropriate.
Yeah, I just feel like there's a link that's not working very well, and I feel like you need to change that. Then you come down over here, you've got these. Now again, in your inspiration images, this is a problem. You'll have only put pictures of garments. Your inspiration images, we've done trend analysis, we've done designer research. Why do we need to put the garments? I gave her enough space to put other people's clothes photos. Okay, now at this point of time, it's image inspiration based on what your inspiration has to be, and not on other people's garments. All right, so this whole thing needs to change for sure. And here we've come to a collection and this is the lifestyle. So you've written your little brief, but so you've understood, right? You need to step back, relook at your inspiration. The inspiration is not wrong, just the way you guys have placed it, you all need to rearrange the whole thing and communicate it better. And don't just use a picture because you like it. And that's again another problem that we always have. I like this picture, I will do anything to stuff it in anywhere. Either you say that I like this picture so much that this is the focal point of my inspiration and everything I do comes from it, or then just remove the picture altogether if it doesn't. Okay? Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
If anyone has any questions, you can ask me right now while I'm opening the next presentation. Oh, baby.
Karishma?
Yes?
I have a doubt on Siddharth.
Yes, hi.
Yeah. Actually, like after this, I want to start working with fabric developments. But because of the lockdown, I'm unable to. Like in my city, there are no shops which have dyes, and I'm trying to work with natural dyes, but then there's limitation of colors. So can I do a particular sample and put a reference chip of a color?
No, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, don't worry about that. We understand those limitations. That's not a problem.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
And you can also get like a paint and maybe dilute the paint and just color the fabric with that just to understand. You can do those things, and you can easily dye with any of the colors diluted with lots of water, or buy a fabric paint diluted lots of water and do a dyeing process with that. So right now, for us to understand or to play around with, don't be stressed about those kind of things, okay?
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so this is the next one. So this one is, again, if you look at the way the mind map is mentioned over here, it's quite nice and interesting. It's a different way from what other people have been doing, and it works quite nicely, right? You've got, I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see it better. Yeah. Can you see it now? Can you read the words? There are lots and lots of words to read, so it'll take you some time. Then there's also like a translation of it, which is slightly more, less busy, which is slightly, done in a more systematic kind of fashion. And you have all of the images which are related to that. Now the thing is, there's so many words over here. I think it would be great if you're doing something that's so intense with so many different words, you should highlight some words you're looking at in particular. Because again, for me, when I start looking at this, I'll only look at words that my eyes move to. So if you started to highlight these with an underline or something like that, or made certain words bolder, then we know which ones are more important to you and which ones are less important. Yeah, you've got your research going on over here. And I'm assuming because there are so many words, there's so many different things that you're actually looking at and researching, that at this point of time, whose presentation is this? Will they actually come forward and talk us through it? I think that'll be nice.
Karishma, I think you need to put a charger to your
I am going
laptop.
to. I'm going to go after this presentation. Yeah, I got the charger.
It's going to shut down.
I moved my working space, no, so I have to wait. I'll do it right now.
Yeah.
I don't usually work on my bed, so I don't normally have chargers over here. I'm a very disciplined worker, by the way.
Yeah.
Because I sleep only if I sit down here and work. Okay. Yeah. So, can the person whose presentation this is please talk us through it really quickly, if you don't mind, because there are lots and lots of words and I want you to talk. Are you here? You're not here. Okay, fine. I'm assuming you're not over here.
Whose work is this?
Akanksha.
From which center?
From Gandhinagar.
Anybody from Gandhinagar?
Hi ma'am, I'm from INIT Gandhinagar.
Okay.
So this is one of my colleagues' presentation. I think she is having some network issues, so she's not able to join in right now.
Okay, fine. Don't worry. That's fine. That's fine. I just wanted to ask her about the process because her keywords are so intense that I felt like she should talk about it before we actually started to comment on it, because there's so many different keywords. But let's just go through it. The write-up, her write-up is actually quite nice. When you reach her write-up, it starts to make more sense for sure, but I need to just reach there. Yeah. So there's lots of imagery. Like her imagery is just like all over the place. There's prints, there's color, there's culture, there's people, and that's fine. It's not a problem as long as we start to tie things together when we have to define our inspiration, okay? So when she starts to define her inspiration, this is her rough work. And she says over here also, she's written about how there are lots of things that she's looking at. So here she's working on things that are completely opposite, where nothing actually coincides, where everything's supposed to be, diametrically opposite from each other. So colorful, rustic, intricate, simple, prints, color blocks, minimal, makeup, African tribes. Then there's doodles, which are really intricate with simple, just line art. Then there's anxious, soothing colors with bold pop colors. So everything that she's looking at are in contrast, okay? So if you look at the trend analysis now that she's got, can you all hear me? Anju, it's fine, no? Yeah, okay. So in the trend analysis that we have right now, she's broken it down to captive geometry, abstract fashion, tailored pop, and sneaking it. And I kind of understand when she's written on top that she's looking at opposites, where this comes from, right? The geometry, right? Then the abstractness, the tailoring, and the pop colors. And this sneaking it is wearing, I think it's sneaking it basically means wearing your lingerie outside the house. You learn something every day. Okay. And then here she's got Prince and Saturn, illustrations, chic show off, and prints on prints. So there are lots of different trend analysis which are quite on point and quite new, and this color play. And somewhere while I'm scrolling all the images she put on top, I start to see you can see the connection, you can see the relevance of it. This half and half, what she's talking about, the whole contrast, then inside out as a trend analysis, mixing it up, which is also a part of contrast, dramatic color palettes, that is also part of contrast. Then patchwork also means different things coming together. Then she's given you some designer relevance, designer research in her relevance. And you see that same pattern running through these. You see lots of color blocking, you see lots of interesting shapes, you see lots of print and print, lots of color clashing. And then this is what she's broken it down to. So combination of two or more independent ideas, combining perfect and perfect, subjective concept of perfection, contradiction, coexisting. Has she come? She knows? Who's talking?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, ma'am, that's my presentation.
Okay.
Sorry, I had some connectivity issue.
No, it's okay, you're with us now, that's fine. You want to quickly take us through your keywords and final write-up?
Yeah, actually from my mind map, when I started, I was actually working on things that had a contradiction or that were like far opposite ends. So what I wanted to do was find a balance, because these were things that really interest me somehow, or on the other way, like basic lines. I'm very keen to like simple geometry also, but then I'm interested in floral patterns also. So basically I wanted to work with both the ideas but find the right balance while working it, because I didn't want my collection to look like a combination of everything that you see. So I wanted to find a perfect balance. I don't right now have a picture or a perfect image of how my collection is gonna look.
I don't want you to have that. That's what we were discussing. So it's fine not to have that. Don't worry about it. Right now, we're just looking at your research and trying to see, like, when we look at your research, when we look at stuff up to this point, the point is that we're just trying to imagine what you're imagining, right? We don't need a specific answer, so don't worry about that.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. All right. So I was just saying earlier that you need to just highlight some of the words in your mind map that we should look at first, because there's so many words, which is great, but it's also very confusing to the viewer. So just highlight things that you feel are like important words. Okay.
Okay.
So if you guys can see in her presentation, you start to see a lot of these contrast of things. You see this patchwork of the tiles also. You see lots of color popping. There's also, like, in this image, you have that flamingo with the legs. So a lot of like surreal art of like combining bits and pieces together. Then the colorful cactus, which is quite nice. So all the research inspiration images are not direct inspiration of a particular garment, of a particular thing. It depends on how you want to start to build up your collection, and those are the kind of references we need over here to create that vibe.
So the collection name is Oxymoron. That sounds good. So I want you to, I think up to this point, your collection is quite interesting. I would like to see how it goes forward. I just wanted to step back and highlight the keywords so it makes more sense, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Sure. Thank you.
Could you put yourself on mute? Akanksha, can you put yourself on mute, please? Thank you.
He's gone away. The screen up kar do.
So we'll look at about maybe 3-4 more presentations, and then we'll start just taking questions, and we'll discuss how to move forward with the projects, okay? So in this one also, this is an interesting way of how she's actually written her keywords. You know, you can be creative with how you're putting it. That's not a problem. So don't feel restricted. She's put a few like images, you know, superimposed with words, not a problem. Okay, there are lots of images. You see, you know that somewhere along the way, her inspiration is going to come from nature. There's a lot of nature references, you know, natural beauty, colors, stone, sky, trees, right? So you know that the inspiration's headed towards that way for sure. And then you have your defining.
Karishma, I just want, since it's getting uploaded, what is the difference between brainstorming and word mapping? If anybody would not be asking, so I'm just putting a question.
Yeah, so I think that we need to understand that when we are brainstorming, you're mainly writing a bunch of keywords that are coming. So you're going on thinking and you're writing down these words that come. When you're mind mapping, you're actually starting from one point, taking out 5 points, then from those 5 points, taking out 10 points. So some people have that written properly and some people don't have that. I don't mind if you just put keywords in also, but that mind map is an important part of your exercise. So it should be done, even if it's done in your rough book at home, it's okay. And you put the keywords from here, it's okay, because this presentation you guys are working on is not all the work that you're supposed to be doing. We told you all this last time also. This is supposed to be the, how you want to present your work this is what you're doing, correct? So when you're brainstorming, you can write keywords, it could be written in a certain way, but when you're mind mapping, it would be much easier for you if you move from one point to the next, like a web chart, right? So you have one point, you reach the next point, and from here you go to the next points. And I think in the presentation before this, in Akanksha's presentation, you could see that also. There was a mind map in place. Okay, quickly through this one. So she's put in a trend analysis where there's cool gathers, unbalanced drapes, patchwork, artistic ruffles, and somewhere I can feel this very leafy kind of vibe. So from her inspiration and what she was looking at, her trend analysis does look like it's all fitting in somewhere or the other. Okay. In this also. And then she's brought in her more focused keywords, which is basically just 5 or 6, which is also okay. Your number of keywords can reduce at this point. Sorry?
Ajay Gadakam theory.
I don't think she's talking to me.
Yeah, she's talking. Who's this?
I just quickly want to show this one, but I think that in hers, what you'll see is that from her keywords in the beginning to in her process that she's done to the images, the keywords right now, and the images that she puts in right now, it's still nature based, but you can see the shift and you can see how it's become more focused, which is why I'm showing all this presentation when it opens, that is. I mean, there are also some presentations, to be honest, which I want to show you guys, but I don't want to show you guys because I know that it's going to deeply offend the person who I'm talking about when I show you the presentation. But the point is that there are some which have no link whatsoever. There are some which have Wikipedia screenshots just pasted in place, which is not correct. There are some which have like, there's so many different directions that you don't even know which direction the person's going into. There's one in particular where the person has very enthusiastically added lots of imagery in, which I'm really happy about. But where it starts from and where it goes to, there's such a gap that it's really confusing. And I will point these out to the people on a one-on-one basis for sure. But you guys just need to be really careful. Like now, if you see her images, you remember the initial images in the same presentation? They were very like lots of like nature pictures only. I'm sorry guys, the internet's really acting up today. One second. Yeah, 1 second. So if you look at the images she had over here, you know, they're like very proper, clean, crisp, like big images of very grand, in nature in a very grand sort of way. But as she's moved on with her inspiration and done her inspiration and come down to her second part, you'll start to see that the imagery that she's put in is more defined, right? So now she's brought it down to movement, flow, pure, texture, reflection, gradient, pattern, and soft, right? And that's what you can see in the images that she's chosen. So you can see the softness, you can see the layers, you can see the pattern, you can see the flow, right? So now it's more water-based. So as you guys move from point A to point B, there are certain things that need to move away, and that's a good thing. So you can start focusing on different parts of your presentation. Yeah. So it's still nature. The nature aspect is not changed, but the focus has changed. I think I'm going to stop the presentation bit over here. I'm just going to quickly discuss with you guys if you'll have any questions at this point, and I have a few points that you'll have to be careful with in your presentations in general. For example, everyone has to write their specialization in the front of their presentation. So please do that for us, because that's really going to help us. Don't stretch the images unnecessarily, because they look very bad when you do that. When you're doing your presentation, this presentation is not supposed to be the only work that you do. So ideally, you should be having all your research and rough work in place, and your presentation is a place that you compile everything. Yeah, this is not the only work that you're doing. Please check your spellings. There's a reason why spelling check is there on our computers. It is so that we don't make mistakes like that. Everyone doesn't have to be a pro at English. So I understand that people need to get help for spellings, but check it on your laptops. The provision is available. So please check your spellings. Other thing is, don't use such big words. There are some presentations that have some really heavy duty language in your description, and it's so complicated that I don't understand it. I don't understand it, right? So
and
don't
avoid using big words which has very different French meaning, German meaning, and when we also need to express, we forget the right. So
and you can't even pronounce them properly.
Yeah.
You know, so please simplify your language, simplify your words. I mean, of course, if your skill is in writing and you're a great orator and you speak, you know, in a certain way and you write in a certain way, by all means write like that. But I know that this is not a skill that all of us have. I mean, I don't have that skill. So that's why I don't use big words in my writing also. I use very simple words in my writing. And trust me, guys, I'm okay if you write it in another language also. If you want to write your write-up in another language and you want help from me to translate it, I'm happy to do that for you. Okay, so don't feel pressurized. Get your thought on paper. That's more important than making it sound like it's, I don't know, like Shakespeare writing. I don't want to read Shakespeare writing right now, okay? There's too many presentations to read. The other thing is, please, you can put images in your keyword page. So don't feel that I only have to write words. A lot of people have already done that, and it's a good thing. So don't worry, that's possible. All your groups are split up. From this moment onwards, no one's group is a group anymore. If you've done work together in a group, no problem. You all take that presentation, each of you, and build that in your own personal way, because that is how it's going to make a difference. Please stop treating this like homework. It is homework. It's homework for me also, right? I have to check it. I have to talk about it. But please stop treating it like homework. This is what we do for a living. This is what we love to do. So when we're doing something we love to do, it should not be homework. And also think about it. In some way or the other, for any of you who want to do your own design work, who want to start your own stuff, this is going to help you guys. So it's not only for NIFD, you're also doing this for yourselves, because we have to grow as designers.
Your own upgradations, Karishma, and believe me, I have said it again and again, that no organization puts that much of efforts to actually upgrade the faculty. And
trust me, and Anju knows this, I work with so many colleges. Y'all are not the only college I work with. And I know the dedication that Anju and Jasween have towards each and every one of you. And literally, we go to other colleges, we teach the students, we leave. Our work is done. But here, they're saying teach the teachers, work with the teachers, because the fact is that you guys are the most important pillar of the organization, and they understand that. So please value it.
My concept of teaching the faculty is not that I think that they are not knowing it. It is basically when we are learning, I again and again say we didn't learn how to teach. We didn't learn how to communicate. So this whole process is giving us words to speak. It is giving us expressions to say, what we need to tell the students further on. Basically, when we are going through this process, we're going through the presentation, we get more to, think about as to what could be right, what could be the way. This is not, I'm not trying to say this, ye galat hai, ye sahi hai. Just that hamari communication kitni strong ho sakti hai, how we can put it forward to the students so that, it gets easier for us.
And collectively, together. We're basically saying that let's find a way of putting it forward to the students in one way. So the language we all speak is similar, so that we don't confuse the students. Otherwise, a very common thing that the students say to me, I come to your centers, I come once in a year to at least some of your centers. The thing they come and say is, but pattern cutting teacher says it like this, design teacher says it like this. So the only thing we're doing here is saying, you guys have the skills, can we just pull it all together and make it slightly more combined in one unified voice? So students can't turn and say, lekin ye to kuch bole, ye to kuch bole. You all have your own opinions, that's fine. You have your own aesthetics, that's also fine. But the process, we're just saying, let's get the process united. That all of us are talking in the same language to the students. That's the only thing. Okay? So my next thing is that it's okay to change your inspiration. Don't worry about that. Your inspiration can change. For example, there was a presentation where they had something in the inspiration. And then in the second part of the keyword inspiration, it changed to Nataraj. And then when it changed to Nataraj, I was like, where did Nataraj come from? I couldn't understand. But that's okay. I understand sometimes you need to change your inspiration. But when I change my inspiration, I have to do all the above work for that inspiration also. Right? You can't say I did this work till this inspiration. Then finally I changed my inspiration. And then I moved on to my collection. No. All that work we do above, which is designer relevance, trend analysis, is done to help us with our work going forward. So if you're changing your inspiration, please remember your inspiration still needs to talk about the trend analysis. You still need to have all those things connected. Does that make sense? Yeah. And the last thing is that when you're putting images, every time you're putting images on your presentation or words in your presentation, look at it again. If it's not giving the viewer any sort of information, it's not needed over there. It's very simple. Either it's got information or it's so damn beautiful that the person's going to be damn happy. So what you can do is, I do that very often. Every time I work on a presentation or work on a writing, I always show it to someone else who's not connected to it. It could be my mother, it could be my father, I send it to them, it could be my husband. They don't work on these projects with me, but it gives you a fresh perspective to understand if someone who's not connected to the project is at least understanding ki likha kya. My parents are not fashion designers, right? They're not. So you can show it to anybody you want to, and then you'll actually get true feedback on whether what you've written is communicating well enough or not. Okay? Yeah? Now quickly, let's just go into what we are expected to do from here onwards. And we will get in touch with you. I think Jasleen will tell you how we're going to share the feedback with you guys.
Yeah, we'll work something out because whatever comments that you've given, maybe we'll copy paste them into a mail and send it individually. We'll need to work something out.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Perfect. That would be great. Because I think the comments or the presentation is the best thing to do. So even if you share it back with the kids, my God, I'm sorry.
It's not going to work because it gets very complicated. We'll be sharing it through Google Drive. I'll just
see what you think about it. Yeah, I'm not going to think about this. You think about it. Okay, perfect. Okay, so basically we've now finished effectively. Most of us are done with our research and data collection. We're done with placing up, brainstorming keywords. We're done with this images part of it. We've done with defining our inspiration. A lot of us have to also revisit all of these things because based on feedback, based on this conversation, based on seeing other people's presentations, you may feel you want to change a few things around. Please do that. We finished designer research and arriving at your key theme. So a lot of us are actually at this phase also. We were just arriving on our key theme. We've taken our keywords, our key phrases, and now we're moving on to a more focused inspiration. It's very important, guys. Don't take this very lightly to please write. When you guys write, what happens is sometimes the words come on paper and make sense. Even if it's 5 lines, if it's 20 lines, that's not a problem, but write your word. Because then all of your thoughts come, because as designers, it is a practice we need to put in. We have to talk about our work and we also have to write about our work. So if someone had to give a collection note about your collection, if your collection note had to be given out, this is the note that would go out. So treat it that way. Of course, you can keep editing it. We'll edit it again at the end once we're done with the whole presentation. But at this point of time, if you have a collection note that you can compile, that will be really good. Okay, so now, because that will help us with our design development. Now, when we're doing our design development, I want you all to constantly go back and have a look at what you guys have derived. Okay, so I want you to keep stepping back and looking at your files, such as this one. This is a really important sheet for your keywords and key phrases. You'll have to keep referring back to it right through your presentation. So what I usually do is when I'm doing my design work, I write a bunch of keywords that are, so I have reached up to this point, and I do practice very, I also do practice writing. So what I usually do is in front of my desk, I put my write-up, I put my keywords, and that's how I start. And I put a few images if I can print them out, or I have them on my laptop, and that's where I start to do my design development from. But I keep revisiting the keywords to ensure that I'm staying within the framework that I have set for myself. So your keywords and your collection note are your framework. This is my story, right? And I don't want to step out of the story. I want to build within the story, and that's really important. So when you're working on your design development sheets, your first thing is breaking down your inspiration, which we've already done. And your first exercise should ideally be your color story. Now there's a possibility for some of you guys, your color story may come later and your silhouette may come first, and that's okay. Okay, so in this particular segment, it's okay if you're doing silhouette development, color story, surface ornamentation side by side, parallelly, or you're doing one before, one after, no problem. Okay, because all these 3 different elements are basically taking on from our keywords and collection note that we've already written. Okay, so y'all can decide. If you decide, okay, fine, my collection will have a lot more is more silhouette heavy, I will first work on silhouettes and then work on my surface ornamentation. For someone who told me kalamkari, the person who's working on the Chennai inspiration said kalamkari is the important element, I will need them to work on surface ornamentation first, decide what kind of ornamentation they're going to have, and then probably work on silhouette after that. So then you all have to decide what is the more important thing to focus on. So at this point, when I develop multiple color stories, I mean that many a times we don't have one color story only. We may say that, okay, I like this color story, I will play around with it, then maybe I'll do a variation of it, I will do another variation of it, and then I will reach my final color story. So when I've develop multiple color stories, it's place for you to put in all the experiments that you may have done to decide which is the best color story for you. Now remember, when you make your color stories, please bear in mind that the quantity of color keeps changing. So if I put 5 chips of identical size boxes together, red, blue, green, yellow, white, as my color story in the same size, I feel like that's a problem, because that means that you're actually saying to me that I'm using these 5 colors in the same intensity throughout my entire collection, which is not usually the case. So I would prefer it if when you're making your color stories also, you'll put the colors based on how much and how little of it you want. Now this is an understanding that will come only at the end, maybe in your final color lineup, which is at the end, right? At this point of time, you're basically playing with scale of colors. So you're saying, okay, I want more blue, less red, I want lots of pink, I want little black. and that's my color story. But I also think that the blue, pink and red work by themselves. I don't need a black. So that is my second color story. Does that make sense? So just try out different variations of color stories before you'll arrive on your final color story. So that's the space for that. Then you have your sourcing and market research. Now we understand that this is not possible in the current scenario. So in this place, I'm fine if you guys put images of fabrics that you find from the internet, right? So you all have a basic fabric knowledge. Use that fabric knowledge, use some research that you're doing off the internet, and you all can put in images. So if you're saying, okay, I want to use cotton, you can put in an image of cotton right now, but write the weight of the cotton. Don't just write cotton, because cotton is anything. Khadi is also cotton, mull is also cotton, canvas is also cotton, everything's cotton. So I wanted to write specifically what the material is, and that's what you can put in here. So don't worry about not being able to source it. Now silhouettes. I don't know how you guys practice your illustrations, but I would like you all to make them really rough and really quick. So with this part of it, I want very rough and quick illustrations. Now also in these parts, I want to also see your different ideas from your images above. So for example, one second, I have a very nice picture I have to show you all. I saved it for you all. I'll probably send it to Jasleen and she can email it to all of you also. When you're actually working on these pages, you all can also very well put in one image. So say suppose someone says to me, my inspiration comes from temples. Okay, I can put an image of the temple over here and I can draw on top of that image to find different shapes that come out from the temple, right? How we do with the students. Then we can pull that aside and then we can use that shape, put that shape on the side and then just keep drawing variations beside it. You can make them this small, literally this small. On one A4 size paper, you should be able to fill up 40, 50 sketches. It should be so quick because these sketches are not detailed design sketches. These are silhouette sketches to understand shape, length, little like just your overall vibe of your illustration. Okay, so that's what you put in here. You can put in your R&D, which is like images. Like say you're looking at a specific image. I'm okay if you put that image, you draw over it, and you take out silhouettes from that image. No problem. That's actually a good thing to be doing. And you can always duplicate these pages into how many other pages you want. So please don't be limited by how many pages I've put over here. Then, so you've got your, and here's also your pattern ideas. So you've got your rough sketches and your different, have I not put a place for surface ornamentation? So the same sheet you use for surface patterns also. So when I'm writing pattern ideas, I'm talking about shape and surfaces, right? So these empty sheets that you guys have that say R&D silhouette. Okay, I made a mistake with this presentation. I'm sorry guys, I didn't realize it's supposed to be R&D silhouette and then R&D surface ornamentation also. Okay, so
there is a slide of silhouette ornamentation also in next.
I can't find it.
I think in third.
No, that's much later. No, that's much later. In this research, in the development part of it also, I need your surface ornamentation to come. No, so I've made a mistake. I should have made one separate slide for surface ornamentation. So right now, please don't use this as an excuse. Okay, I'm telling you all now in front of everyone and everyone's proof. In the silhouette ka page, you can put your surface ornamentation also. And please do me one job on your page, change it from silhouette to surface ornamentation. That much work you all can do for me, right? That's not a problem. So that's your space to draw your silhouettes and your patterns and your prints and your motifs, whatever you want to draw. You all start placing them on these pages, okay? Then after that is editing. Should we just do it up to here? I think this is a lot of work. Yeah, this is a lot of work. You're on mute, Anju.
Yeah, till here I think it'll be all right because after that we can tell them the next step.
Yeah. So if you have any questions, please ask me now. But this is the second phase of your project where you're supposed to come.
Ma'am, I want to ask one thing.
Ask.
Yeah, before moving towards the second phase, like I'm not sure with my first phase, is it okay, correct or not?
Don't move on to it right now. You only move on to it once you get feedback on your first phase.
Oh, it will be individually. I just wanted to know.
Individually given. Individually. This only we've done from the examples that we can discuss together. I can't discuss. I have like many.
Today was just a discussion based on everybody's presentation who we thought could be presented to you so that everybody would have a generic idea.
Yeah.
Individual feedbacks will be coming to everybody.
Yeah. So don't worry about it.
Thank you. Thank you
so
so much.
none of you guys can work on it till we actually send you feedback, because I don't want you to do double work.
Right.
But if you're feeling
Right.
very excited, you can obviously do that. But I would suggest not. Okay.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Any questions about the second phase? Anyone?
Hi, ma'am. This is Sharanya from Calcutta.
Hi, Sharanya. Yes.
Yeah. Good evening, ma'am. Ma'am, I had a question about the color boards. So I worked on it. I had working on the textile, and my inspiration was that I will be using all colors that can be sourced naturally. So I have made 4 color boards of different, say one is different shades of indigo. So it's like a dark indigo, a light indigo, and variations of that. Then one comes where we can take haldi and mirchika powder, and that's like a contrast yellow and red color story. So I've made 4 like that. When I derive the final color board, so is it okay to say take the blue also, the red also from the different color boards?
Absolutely. So what your final color board is going, but we've not reached the final color board as yet. You're only working on development of and design work right now. You're not working on editing and final board. So I want to see if you have 5 variations of blues and reds. You say, okay, I want to make one color palette where I put all these reds, blues, and yellows together. So see, you can use as much colors you want to use. I don't think that there are rules in the way we use colors, right? You just need to be careful that they don't like. There are some people who use 100 colors in a collection, and it's Zeni, can you talk softly, please? And it still works. And there are some people who use just one color in their collection, and even that works. So number of colors is not a problem. So you can say, okay, fine, I want to make one color board, which is going to have all my shades of red, all my shades of blue, all my shades of yellow. And I feel like this is what my collection should look like. But then you say, okay, no, I think that I want to edit this slightly. Then I make a second color board with maybe 2 shades of blue, 5 shades of red, 3 shades of yellow. So that becomes your second color board. And that's how you will eventually reach a color board, which will then later on just be copy pasted as your final color board. So most of the work that you guys are doing right now will then just be copy pasted for your final color, final everything.
Okay, I understand. Yeah, ma'am. One more thing that yes, ma'am.
I just want you to just work step by step, because if you think of what's going to be coming next, so actually what I feel is that we've already printed the final destination. So let's not come till there. Let's go step by step so that you will get to know exactly how we want. Otherwise, क्या होता है कि वो same impression रहेगा, because we know the final destination and our routes will be like that, in that direction only. So let's not go any further in. पहले हम लोग यही step by step करेंगे तो better रहेगा.
So right now, just focus on this part of it. Take that colorway, try different permutations and combinations of it. Even if you've done it, revisit it and just see how you can make it more interesting.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, one more thing I need to know.
Yeah, tell Sargam,
Yeah. Ma'am, what I was saying is essentially I'm not an illustration person. So when I am drawing these rough sketches, I really can't put my thought into rough sketches. I have to make it either like proper sketches or nothing. It remains to be words. So is it okay if I have, say, pattern images and, like ma'am was saying, images of my surface development, ornamentation and everything, and proper sketches if I can?
I don't want you to not do sketches, and I feel like you should take that fear out. I am a terrible illustrator. Okay, I found a way to illustrate that works for myself and for my people. So that is not an excuse. You can't do that. But you can say, okay, fine, I don't want to draw it by hand. I can also do it digitally, because I can achieve it on the computer. I'm okay with that. However you want to do it, but you need to do it.
Ma'am, what I meant was that my illustrations, when I'm illustrating, I can't sketch effectively a silhouette without a croquis. So my illustrations will be like croquis and properly rendered.
Can you do me one favor? Can you actually on a paper, can you trace out small croquis, and can you use that as your base and then draw over that? So your croquis are there. Are there, but you're illustrating. So you're not wasting time. I need you to make a lot of illustrations. I need you to make at least 50 illustrations. So if you try and make 50 beautiful illustrations, it's a waste of time. And also your head is so consumed in getting the correct skin tone and getting the correct eyes and I don't know, everything, that we end up forgetting the garment. Which is why illustration needs to come at a later phase when we have the garment in place. So right now, to simplify your work, you can use croquis at the back. You can trace out whatever you want to trace out, no problem.
They can just make stencils. I'll say make stencils and then drape the garments on it. That'll be much better.
Yeah, that is what I'm doing. So there's one croquis on which I'm going on draping the garments. That's what I want.
Yeah, that's not a problem. That's not a problem. I thought you
Thank
said
you,
you can do it only.
Hi, ma'am. This is John from once again Kolkata, Salt Lake.
Hi, John. Hi.
Thank you so much for guiding us. It's a brilliant session going around. Ma'am, I have a question. Like I was talking to Anju, ma'am, before we start with the meeting. Ma'am, till now I am doing with one of my colleagues the presentation, and so I'll be waiting for your feedback so we can move on to the second phase. But ma'am, honestly, I have just personally started my second phase personally. It's my rough work going around. So I have a question, ma'am. Like just now, Sharana have mentioned, like regarding the color storyboard, ma'am. How much colors can we take, ma'am? Like
as many as you want to. As many as you want to. I as a designer tend to use like 20 colors together. If you look at Manish Arora's work, he probably uses 100 colors together. Then if you look at maybe someone like I don't know who, Antaragni, he uses 2 colors. So there's no answer to that question. You can use as many colors as you can manage. You can use as many colors as you can control. There are like see Yoji Yamamoto. He uses only black. But every product still looks like, my God, you still look at it and go like, oh wow, he's done it again in black. So the point is the number of colors comes from your inspiration or your personal choices as a designer. So there's no limit.
okay, ma'am. I have a second question. Like very till now we are in the first phase. Ma'am, like we have taken the same inspiration and our trends are same till now with my colleagues. So from second phase we are supposed to split.
Yes.
That's right, ma'am.
Yes.
That's my question, ma'am. Yeah. So the first phase remain the same, and from the second phase we are going to split and we are going to work.
Yeah, your perspectives can change. So you guys, let's see how you can dwell onto that.
So for example, you can even change from the point where you're writing your collection note. So your collection notes should be individual, your collection name should be individual.
Okay.
Hello,
Thank you so much.
That's where you change from, okay?
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Hello, ma'am. Akshay from Jodhpur INFD.
Hi, Akshay. Yes.
So my question is that, like, for color story, we have to develop our own colors on sheets, the combination which we have to decide.
Ideally, yes. That would be better.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Hi, ma'am.
I hope everybody's clear. Somebody wants to ask.
Yes, ma'am. It's me, Suparna. Yeah, ma'am. So since we have few corrections already in the first phase, so can we do it individually from this phase 1?
Yes, absolutely.
And send it across?
Yes. So if you want to decide that, okay, fine, we want to just take it separately, completely
with the same theme,
you take it separately. Yeah. If you decide that till this point we are together, then we're separate, no problem. It's a personal decision.
No,
but
so
after
already have corrections.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
But from concept note onwards, everyone's separate.
But Suparna, please note that from now onwards we'll get limited time. So do you think you'll have time for doing up the?
I'm not going to change entirely all the way. Though we three had same thing only in our head. Only few changes will be there, I think. So.
Okay, all right.
That will be fine, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So all right, we'll send you the date for the next schedule of our workshop with Karishma, and please keep that time frame in mind so that you can submit the work.
Pratibha from Hyderabad has a question.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I want to ask, ma'am. Right now, see, I'm not. All the colors are not available with me right now. So, can we use the images in the color storyboard?
Absolutely. You can go online, Google Pantone shade card, pull out colors, do anything you want to do, no problem.
Okay, ma'am.
You can make a digital color story. You can draw on the computer, no problem. Just do the work. That's all.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So all right. So we'll send you the date by when we need to get that project from you, and when you would have the next workshop. I hope this workshop was enlightening. And thanks, Karishma. At least I probably learned quite a lot. rest, I think.
Well, I really sincerely hope we can travel again, because frankly speaking, I'd rather be in Calcutta eating an amazing khana and talking to all over the desk over there. But until then, this is all we have. Yeah.
So, all right. We'll do that very soon, but Abhi, we need to just kick them off a little to start off.
Perfect. And if you have any questions, otherwise you can always reach out and ask through Jasleen ma'am. Yeah. Yeah. So don't stop doing your work if you have a question also. Okay. Okay.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, guys.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. See everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.